Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the She-E.O podcast, where we talk love, life, and leadership as a female entrepreneur. Today on the She-E.O podcast, we have a special guest that I'm very excited about. This beautiful female entrepreneur, She-E.O, is Chanise Gibbs. She is the founder of BareSkin USA, which is an amazing cosmetic line that I'm going to let her tell y'all all about. Let them have it, Chanise.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. This is amazing. I love what you're doing, and just anytime I can be a part of something great and phenomenal that women are doing, I am here for it. So, shout out to you, Miss She-E.O. So I'm Chanise Gibbs, the CEO and founder of BareSkin USA. It is an amazing plant-based skincare brand. And what I do is I actually story tell through skincare by infusing ingredients from around the world and connecting the African diaspora back together. So, what that means, for example, here's our amazing body butter. So, this is our summer pina colada body butter. And pina colada is native of Puerto Rico. So, we actually just went on a curated experience that BareSkin USA hosted, and we went to the town of Louisa, and that is where our melanated people are. So you got a chance to not only experience the products, but experience the music, food, culture, and so much more. And that's just one of the ways that we're connecting the African diaspora by storytelling through skincare.
Yes. So you take different elements from different parts of the African diaspora and implement them into the products.
Absolutely.
That's a way to celebrate like our melanin skin, our melanin.
Absolutely.
That is freaking amazing. And by the way, I tried the body butter. It smells so yummy and it feels even better. So make sure y'all get you a can.
And it's not heavy. It's not sticky. It's whipped to perfection. It goes on nice and smooth, and it moisturizes you immediately from the inside out.
Yeah, so it's nice and light. I love that.
Yes.
Dope. So awesome. Wonderful. And the plant-based part is what grabs me all the more. The melanin, the bringing all of us together through an amazing product, but it's plant-based.
Yes. Yes.
My gosh. So tell us how you've been able to pretty much cultivate and curate and create this product. And it's natural, it's organic, it's plant-based, it's top tier.
Yes. So let me take you back a little bit. So myself, I am a vegetarian, and I have been for at least the past 9 years. And so those things are important to me. Just keeping things really, really natural. And sharing those things with the world. You know, a lot of people are transitioning to either plant-based, vegan, pescatarian, just different things. And so I wanted to create something that was organic. But how it actually started, so the backstory, about 3 years ago now, COVID had hit. I lost my job, single mom of two, and I had what I called a bare moment, where I actually stared at my reflection in the mirror and I was like, what is it am I going to do next? There's so many things that I'm talented in. However, there are so many things that I was just lacking. You know, I was losing myself. And as I'm staring at my reflection, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm noticing my skin breaking out. I'm noticing I'm not exercising, I'm not eating water. I'm not doing the proper things to take care of myself. Now, although I was on this vegan journey, I'm still just not taking care of myself. And that bare moment came to me, and I said, I want to create something, not when I got it all together, but when I can actually go on the journey with the people. I'm always pouring into others, but I needed to pour into myself. And so that was that self reflection moment where I say, I just revealed my naked truth, who I am, where I am, but really where I want to go and where I want to be. And so that let me create this amazing brand as we know today as BareSkin USA, keeping it clean and fresh and plant-based.
That is amazing. That is so amazing because a lot of, I believe the number is like an 85% of products, hair, cosmetic products that are marketed to Black women are actually really, really toxic. They're full of
Yes.
toxins and chemicals and parabens and sulfates that honestly are not good for us. And we're putting them directly on our scalp, which is connected to our brain, which is connected to everything else. So
Absolutely.
to have a product um, unfold and surface that is for us, by us,
Yes.
organic, plant based, is amazing. Amazing. So I love watching the journey. I've known you
Yes.
for a while,
Yes.
and it's so real and true that you truly do pour into others.
Yes.
So it's so authentic in that light,
Mhm.
and seeing you progress in the ways that you have, to the creation of it, and seeing you at these conventions
Yes.
as a vendor and selling to all these people, and then seeing you on billboards,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
it's so just amazing to
Yes.
watch. Like, I'd like to know, what is it that you've been able to do to kind of build a team that has helped you to kind of navigate into a more global, widespread space when it comes to your product? Because I know that getting to that point is definitely not easy.
No.
And I know that I've seen your team in action at the retreat that you guys did. I got the chance to see the team and the people involved in action. I thought that was so awesome, because I believe, as an entrepreneur, in my own journey, that's been the hardest part, is really getting people involved with your vision, that can also see the vision, that believe in the vision, that trust your leadership, and that will go on the journey with you and stay the course, and really help you take your brand to the next level.
So that's a great question, because formulating a team, you just really got to go to God. One thing I would say is just stay consistent. There's many a nights where I'm by myself. There's many a nights where I'm tired. There are many a nights where I'm wearing so many hats and I'm doing A, B, C, and D. And even to this day, at the end of the day, it's still my company. So what I pour into it is a little different than what, others do. But I am super, super grateful for the team that I have. I was just saying that today. They show up, and they show up, and they show out. We just drove to New York City. Probably took us well over 16, 18 hours, because obviously we stopped, but they showed up. I didn't even have to drive. They set everything up. Like, it is amazing to have a great team. But first, you just got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You have to stay humble, and you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. And so those things are important, and I make sure I do that each and every time. So when it's time to do something for BareSkin USA, even personal, celebrating birthdays, I show up. And so I show up for them, and in return, they show up for me. And so for that, I am super grateful, but it's not easy. There'll be times we bump heads, we clash, but we know the main goal and focus. And so we stay there. So the fussing, the fighting, the laughter, the just being tired, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. But building a team, it's not easy. You have to let God guide the right people to be in your space, because energy is everything. And from there, you will see your growth. But even with the tired nights and putting in that hard work, you can't give up. You just have to keep going.
Yeah, I was just watching a clip on Instagram of this guy talking about how people want to be entrepreneurs, but they have no idea what it takes, and how a lot of people want to microwave success and want to skip the steps to truly becoming an entrepreneur. And female entrepreneurs are like the highest ranked small
Yes.
business owners right now. So I think it's amazing to see us, just come out of COVID.
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
just become so determined.
Just blossom.
And yes.
Yes.
And break into these industries as business owners and entrepreneurs, and being empowered and helping empower others to do the same. So when it comes to being a female entrepreneur, what would you say is something a gem that you would give a female entrepreneur, not just to start a business, because I think starting the business is, all of it's hard, but starting it is the easy part. It's maintaining a business that a lot of people don't tap into.
Yes.
You see a lot of posts about get your LLC and register this and get that, and to establish a business, but maintaining a business,
it's a whole nother thing. And so, and they're all steps of just starting, maintaining. Someone asked me the other day, like, what are some of your challenges that you face? And to answer your question is the same thing how I answered that. See, there's levels to this, right? And so from starting your LLC, because you may not even know about that, right? You may not even know what steps to take. And that may be a challenge for you. And then now you got the business up and running. And then there's going to be challenges. So it never ends. It never ends. Maintaining is, you have to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent. Even when the trials come, the tribulation, like, you just have to stay consistent, because there's always going to be challenges. So what you're seeing on Instagram, and you're seeing the glory, I love platforms like this because it allows you to tell your story. Because just when I think I could breathe, I'm hit with something else, and it's like, oh my gosh. And it's not that they're all bad things. It's not that they're bad at all. It's just a new level. So I was telling someone, it's almost like playing Pac-Man. It gets harder and harder, but then you adjust, you learn how to navigate, and then finally you make it to the next level. And so that's what it is. That's what life is like, being an entrepreneur, being a She-E-O, because every level comes with different challenges. And so you learn to navigate through it. You learn to pray about it. You learn to cry. You learn to be like, okay, I'm not going to give up. But then you be like, I want to give up. I can't do this. For me, a mental break is, I need a vacation. I got to get away. I need a vacation, and I'm going to come back to this. I got orders to ship. I got this. I got that. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. But you have to stay consistent. Stay on course. Stay on course with the journey, because it's not going to be easy. The road is not going to be easy. You look at these Fortune 500 companies, they weren't built overnight. It took time. It took dedication. You're going to have people, you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have people that are not going to believe in you. It's going to be days you're probably going to feel down and depressed. You don't feel like showing up for yourself. But knowing that you have a greater purpose, it all starts with the vision. And that's the first thing. If you keep that vision in the forefront, whatever that vision is, and the big vision, you will stay on course, because you know your why. Like, this is why I want to do this. This is what I'm doing this for. And once you have that in your back of your mind, just never let it go. And like I said, just stay on course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. People see the glitz and the glam. They see the other side of the struggle, which is the success. But a lot of the times, a lot of entrepreneurs and Alex don't have time to show the struggle. The struggle can get so like overwhelming that I don't have time to sit on my phone and show you that I'm struggling right now.
Right.
So really, when you have a moment is when it's like, oh my God, this just happened. Great. So a lot of the times the display is of the success, of the breakthroughs, of the moments where things are working out. But there's so much hard work and dedication that goes into entrepreneurship. And even though I always say, entrepreneurship is one of the hardest ships you'll ever sail.
Absolutely.
But it is the most rewarding.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I had to think about everything that I just accomplished in a week. And I'm just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like once I stepped back and just had like an out of body experience, I was like, wow, this is so rewarding, living out your dreams. And then there's so much more to accomplish. Like that's not even half of it. But living out your dreams is so amazing. It's so rewarding. So yeah.
And it's a moment where you feel invincible.
Yes.
You feel so powerful because it's like, oh my God, I did that.
I did that.
I
said that the other day. I was like, she is so dope. She really did that. I mean, closing deals. I done closed at least 4 deals just in this entire week. And these are big deals. And these things, like I said, they're so amazing, so rewarding. But you're right. People don't have the time to show the pain, what they go through. How many times you think you're going to say, okay, I'm in tears, I'm crying, something didn't go right. Let me put my camera on.
Right.
Let me record this, right? So that's not even the way the brain works. But if you're like, okay, we look cute today, let's take a picture, right? So those are the things that you show. So you're right, people don't show unless you have a camera following you all day, every day. But for you to just do that, you're not going to stop in the middle of crying or, you're in pain or in sorrow and be like, oh, let me set my camera up, stop crying, wipe my eyes and go back to it. So you don't get to see those vulnerable moments. You don't get to see when people are just trying to build something to be successful. And yeah, but the beautiful thing about it is you do get a chance to experience their amazing brands, their amazing products, the amazing things that they're putting out. And just know that when you are supporting any business, especially our Black-owned businesses, these ladies, these men are putting in work. Yes.
Real. Seriously.
Yes.
So it's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, y'all. So as a mompreneur,
yes,
how is it trying to balance taking care of 2 boys and, I mean, your business is your baby. So it's like a whole nother entity, a whole nother life that you have to nurture, that you have to pour into. How is it balancing being a boy mom and being a business owner?
So balance is the key, right? And so one of the things that I do is I incorporate the boys into my business. I have 2 sons, 15 and 12. And so this is a family-owned business. They're going to have to one day keep this going. Their children, their whatever. They have to keep this going, right? And so when we do events, they normally help set up, they normally help break down, or if they don't go, they'll load up the car, they'll help sit and make products. So I ensure that I keep them involved, right, and incorporate them. Those things are important to me. So as long as I keep them involved, there's a balance. Now they have their own schedules and things like that. So I'm football 7 days a week. Then I have to go make products. Then I have to do an event. Then I have to, do a podcast or something or an interview. And so even though my life is like, but I always make sure I incorporate them. I always make sure I tell them, okay, hey, this is what I'm getting ready to do today. Hey, check me out on live. Hey, can you record me? Hey, could you DJ? Could you? And so those things allow them to appreciate each and everything that I do, but it allows them to go on the journey with me and see the ups and downs. They may want to go on their own path of entrepreneurship one day. So yeah, those things are important. Just balancing out life, because life be lifing, right? And so you have to keep your kids involved. You have to keep. It teaches them so much. It teaches them so much. So
I agree. And as women, I think it's important that we set a certain level of example, especially to our boys.
Oh, yes. Yes.
As to what a empowered, powerful woman looks like, of what a woman who can be balanced within herself.
Yes.
Of a woman who can uphold class and still be assertive and demanding enough to lead a team of people to
Yes.
accomplish a goal. You know, these generally for generations have been positions of men.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so for our boys to get a glimpse into what a woman can do in these areas too, I think gives them an opportunity to see that, you know, women can be our equals.
Yes.
It gives our boys an opportunity to have a different perspective of a woman's role, of a woman's strength,
Absolutely.
you know, in the world. I think a lot of men from the past had an idea that a woman is supposed to be all these things that are either soft or quiet or docile,
and we are,
and yeah.
But there's so much more.
Absolutely.
I was saying that today too. I was speaking to some women, and I'm looking at them and I'm listening to them and their stories. But as I'm watching each and every one of them, I'm like, we are some powerful beings. We can be soft, right? We can be docile. We can be loving, caring, nurturing. And then something goes on with our kid and we go from 0 to 100 real quick, right? Or we're in a situation with our significant other, you know, and so, and I'm learning that about myself. This is just the dynamic of being a woman. I'll switch to mommy mode real quick. I'll switch to girlfriend mode real quick. I'll switch to homegirl mode real quick. I'll switch to boss mode, all in the same breath. Mm-hmm. And so we're so powerful. And so for, especially being a boy mom, our boys to see that and get firsthand in seeing those roles, you know, those things will stick with them forever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I love the aspect of respect that they'll have for women in that area too. And that is so key. That is so key. I think that with men of the past, there's been a lack of that, a lack of respect, a certain level of respect for a woman and her capabilities, mm-hmm. and her drive and determination and her will to do well in life, whether she has someone there or not.
Yes.
But, you know, I think it's awesome when a woman who is a mother, who is a business owner, entrepreneur, can have someone there with her, a man who's supportive, who's loving her and pouring into her as well. So how is that for you as a female entrepreneur? Has mm-hmm. relationship been difficult to maintain because of being an entrepreneur? Or is it just, I mean, is it normal relationship stuff, or does being an entrepreneur kind of amplify certain issues that may not have been such an issue if you weren't a busy entrepreneur?
Good question. The old me will probably say yes, mm-hmm. right? The new me today, I'm in a different space. And so I'm in a space of, this is how my life is going to go. This is what I want. This is what I need. And I'm going to clearly communicate that to you. And so if that works for you, fine. If it doesn't work for you, fine. And what I mean by that, before I would be like, oh, he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. He's not an entrepreneur. And so I've already created a barrier to even give him the opportunity to try. Right. And so it's like, oh, well, I'd rather date another entrepreneur. He gets it, or someone that's in the same industry or whatever as me. And then you get that, and that's still a whole nother mm-hmm. challenge. Right. And so what I've learned is, this is who I am. This is what I do. You know, that's who you are. That's what you do. And then we're going to have to start making some decisions, like right now. We're not going to play. We're not going to. If this is not the lifestyle, maybe you need someone in the house cooking and cleaning, right? Mm-hmm. That may be great for your lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. I can't even try to do that if I wanted to, because I just don't have the time. Now I do that. I want to cook, I'm going to clean, of course. But every single day, I may not have time to cook you dinner, but maybe your life needs that. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be real with myself, like, this is not going to work for me, because he needs something that I can't provide on a daily basis. So now I take the male out of it and I just implement and focus on me. And I'm just being real with myself and say, yeah, that's not going to work. I can't sit home every single night. You know, and I'm going to have that conversation and then eventually remove myself from it. So I think really just being honest with yourself and being honest with, whoever you're dating, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, our lifestyles are maybe a little different and it may not work. So it was difficult. I would say I'm at probably the most happiest place in my life with dating and everything, because as quick as it may start, as quick as it may be over sometimes, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And communication is key. You have to communicate what you want, what you expect, just everything. So
I agree. I agree. Over the past week or so, there's been these conversations about women who are certain type of earners or a certain type of status, and them wanting a certain type of man. I wouldn't date a bus driver unless he, owned the bus.
Right.
Conversation gets really topsy-turvy because for some reason society has an issue with women who are successful, who are business owners, or who have a certain level of income or status, wanting and desiring a man that can meet them on that level.
And see, people take things for face value. Like, it's not just the bus driver. It's the McDonald's worker. It's the transit worker. It's the sanitation. It's all the same to some people. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say it's anything wrong with that, right? Someone will say, I don't want to live in the United States anymore. I don't like Americans. Everyone has their preference. And so that is okay. But people put the stigma on, women, and, like you're talking down on bus drivers. It's not just the bus driver, right? You may say, I don't want to date a guy that's a stockbroker. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to date a rapper. And their, income levels are totally all different.
Right.
And so you like what you like. You want what you want. And I'm learning that. Be assertive in what you want. You don't have to be aggressive, but you can be very assertive. You can communicate and articulate those things, and it's your life. So I'm such a lover of life. Like, hey, you want to date and get married tomorrow? Go ahead, girl, go for it. Do you? I love it. If you like it, I love it. I'm going to be praying and rooting for y'all. If you want to date a man and he got 50 kids, go ahead, girl, go for it. And so men choose what they want, right? All the time. And so this is 2023. Do what you want. Live life as long as you're not hurting nobody. And it's not that, hey, I'll never find a man because I'm being too picky and this and that. There's things that we want. There's things that we will work with. But then there's things that we won't settle for either. And that's in their life, right? That doesn't mean because you own a television studio, you don't make enough money for me. It's just not going to work. And I'm going to forever be single because I want a God. Now, who's on that level, right? So yeah, you have to just be real and have those real conversations. We were talking about that. Have those real conversations with yourself. And then also you have to have it with your mate.
Agreed. I think it's very interesting how society, especially with women, but I think especially with Black women, we are, even B. Simone was like ridiculed for saying that she can't date someone who has a 9-to-5. She needs someone who's an entrepreneur because she's an entrepreneur, and there's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's not about what they're making or what they're bringing home.
Right.
Trust me, 9 times out of 10, a lot of women, we've dated men that probably don't make more money than us. We don't care about that, right? Because if you love someone, you love someone. It is a lifestyle. And if you're not an entrepreneur, you don't understand the lifestyle. You don't understand the late nights, the early mornings, the in-between, the running out the house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to grab breakfast on the way. I hope you got yourself, I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to fly out to Chicago, to LA. It is a lifestyle. So the average 9 to 5er, right, for the most part, as far as work, their schedule is set. They're going to leave at a certain time. They're going to go, they're going to come home. They eat lunch at the same time. I may not have eaten until 4 in the morning.
Right.
I haven't eaten all single day because I have things to do and things that I have to get done. That's going to be a total imbalance in your household. This man needs to come in. He needs to go to sleep. He needs to wake up early in the morning, and you sitting there on your laptop, right? Or you're not even in the room, even worse, because you're downstairs or you're at the desk and you're working. So by the time he gets up in the morning, you're asleep. So y'all never even seeing each other or really interacting. So you have to understand it is a lifestyle. And every entrepreneur's lifestyle is different depending on, what area, the industry and what area of business you're in. So you got to be realistic, people. You have to be realistic.
I agree. And like you said, I think that people are entitled to their preference.
Yes.
People are entitled to what they want. And I think that it's so backwards and such a huge lie to tell people that because they have standards or because they have non-negotiables or because they have a preference that they're going to end up alone.
And I don't even think it's a preference. You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like you're just making this thing up like it's just a preference. No, you know who you are. You know what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. Like, this is your whole DNA. I was talking to a young lady, like, she's so nice, she's so sweet. She's like, that's who she is, right? And she'll probably be like that with her men. And that is who she is. So if she meets a man and he's very aggressive and angry, she may, shut down or cry, or because that is just who she is. So
based off of that, she's going to need a certain type of
absolutely
individual. Yeah, I agree. And as female entrepreneurs, I think it's important to have that sort of self-awareness.
Yes.
Because you know how hectic it could be.
Right.
So these things, knowing yourself is going to give you the ability to know what it is that you need from someone else. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's such a cliche statement, but it's so real and true that you have to know and love on yourself before you can really guide someone or have someone in your life to love on you as well. And that goes with the self-awareness and knowing your lifestyle, knowing your schedules, knowing what is going on in your world. Whether you're a 9-to-5 or entrepreneur, you have to be able to have a certain level of self-awareness to know that according to this and what I know about myself, this is the type of man I'm going to need. Like, I ran into a guy the other day, and, he was so against the conversation about standards and settling and lists of these things. But it's like, how can you expect for a woman to even know if she wants you, if she doesn't know what she wants, if she doesn't have some type of idea, list, whatever it is, or even awareness and knowledge of self, Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just very interesting for someone, a man of his age, to kind of be against a woman having some type of awareness of what it is that she needs and wants in a relationship.
And so that's where we come back to the difference of entrepreneurs, or let's say whoever, the 9-to-5 or whatever it is that you do. So in the journey of entrepreneurship, you set standards, right? In the journey of entrepreneurship, you make lists, you check things off, you add other things on. And so that's why it's a whole lifestyle thing, because you're doing this every single day. You have the time to really absorb most of your emotions versus being on a schedule and it's robotic. You have those moments, damn, I didn't even eat today, right? But maybe at your 9-to-5 or whatever your set schedule, you have to eat at 12 o'clock. Or if you don't eat, you're going to miss lunch, and you don't get off to 5 or 6 or whatever, and you're not going to get home to 7. It doesn't work like that in an entrepreneur world. And so people have to be mindful, but it's hard, especially if they never even dated someone, that's an entrepreneur, or they're not an entrepreneur themselves. So that's why I could see why the young lady is like, I'm not going to date a bus driver. I'm not. It'll never work. Like, you want her to date a bus driver so it could, trust me, she would have moved on and did 100 of other things. He probably would have more so been the one. He would have been happy because he got someone of that stature.
Right.
But then it would have been all a waste, and he would probably look at other women just like her very differently, because it's not going to work. It's an entire, totally imbalanced.
Yeah, I agree. And even to the effect of her coworker, and he mentioned that Black women are always encouraged to just take what they can get.
Absolutely.
And I think that there's been a huge shift in the dynamic of women no longer just wanting to be in a relationship to say they want to be in a relationship.
Absolutely. Because if you look at other cultures, right, that's not what's going on. A lot of these things are prearranged. You know that this person does that. The family knows that this person does that. It's going to secure that woman, that wife. They're going to train her to be. So we lost so much of our culture. We have to get back to that. And so you want to put the pressure on men to obtain and do more. Just don't go by the regular standards that society says, because 9 times out of 10, other people that don't look like you are not doing that. Right? And so that's the conversation. It's not that you're a bus driver. It's not that you're the mailman. But we have to look at all these other cultures and what they're doing and how they're succeeding and how they're coming together as a unit. They're not doing that. And so that's more so the conversation is not that you are doing that at that moment, but it's like, let's figure out what you can do beyond that.
Right. And one thing I think I realized is there's a resistance. There's a resistance in men wanting to have a certain level of healthy pressure put on them to elevate, to broaden their horizons and their mindsets. I think a lot of people, and it's okay if like you're fine and you're settled and you're cool in just having that type of 9-to-5 lifestyle. You're meeting your needs with this stuff, but it's like, don't have an expectation for a woman who, for lack of better words, is out of your league to be okay with dealing with you and your difference in mentality and your difference in schedule and your difference in lifestyle and your difference in routine on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And then you'll expect her to open up windows that fit your locked in routine. I think that it's definitely a unfortunate it's unfortunate that society bashes and comes down so hard on women for knowing who they are and knowing what they need and knowing that person with that type of job is not it.
And I get it, because as a society, what we have to do, these She-E-Os today, and especially Black women, we're in position. We're in position of power. We hold a lot of power in so many positions. And I really think what we have to do is, it's not about pointing the finger. I wouldn't date a bus driver because half of these men, they don't have any other options. We've been through through slavery, through so much, right? That they've endured, that we've endured. And so now what we have to do is have the conversation and position. And men have to be okay with taking some leadership from women so we can position them. Because once we position them, then we can take back our power. But We have to have those conversations, baby. It's not okay to just be a bus driver for 40 years and just retire and collect some pension. You're not even really living life. You know, let's go travel. Let's go see the world. Not because you have to go put in 2 weeks vacation and now you have to get it approved. That is not living life. You know, you look at other cultures, other societies, their goal is not to be the bus driver. Mm-hmm. Their goal, most people around the world are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Whether they're selling candy, whether they're selling fruit, whether they're selling hats, whether they're making things out of straws. Mm-hmm. So we know a proven fact, right? That is one of the ways where you can survive, you can meet your needs, you can feed your family. Everyone is not signing up to go be the bus driver, the doorman, the mailman. No one's doing that. Not in any other culture. Mm-hmm. And so we got to have those conversations. I love what we do as women, but now, and we have so many talks and conversations, but now we have to have the conversation with men. And it needs to be a time for them to listen so we can position them. Because at the end of the day, we want them to win. Mm-hmm. We want them to win. And that's where it's coming from. It's more so coming from a place where we want you to win. But sometimes maybe the choice of words aren't right, mm-hmm. you know, because that's like, we know as women, it's not about the bus driver. Right. But someone that is a bus driver is like, well, sure, I bring home $80,000 a year, depending on where they at. I'm good. And it's not about just being good, because it's really about living life and being financially free. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have multiple streams of income. Yes. That's the way society works. Whether it's this society or another society, that is the way it works. It's not just when you look at another culture, the woman is working in a certain position in her field. She got the children there working. The husband is working. The grandmom is working. They work together as a unit. And so we got to come together to position one another, so we can grow as a unit, as a team, as
and
people.
I think that is a beautiful dynamic to have. I think that balance of, there are moments where, yes, babe, you got to lead because that's your role as a man. And there are moments where I think, like you said, because women are so much more in a different type of position now, mm-hmm. where the man should be okay with allowing the woman to lead in the places where he may not be as, you know, knowledgeable or Absolutely. Capable. And I think that, you know, that is causing some resistance as well in the whole relationship realm when it comes to the love arena as a female entrepreneur. Absolutely. It's like yes, you have to allow your man to lead, but you know, I think that there's space and room also for a woman to lead, and men kind of being okay with that a little more, mm-hmm. I think would be ideal for relationships moving forward.
And what leadership looks like, right? It's not like I'm going to take over. Mm-hmm. I'm acting in an alpha space. It can be simple conversation. You can lead a conversation because you know that 1 + 1 is 2, and he's still trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. So it's providing information. It's providing answers. It's, no, babe, I got this. I got you. Now you can take it out there and go present it to the world and, you know, put your big hat on and your big boy drawers on. And that's okay. And I'll go back in my feminine space. But we're in a world where we have to allow each other to be and trust one another.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah. So we got a lot of work to do, guys. A lot of work to do as people. The world is evolving with technology and AI and every single thing. And if we don't have the conversations now, we will be behind. We're already behind, right? Yeah. But it'll put us even further behind because it has been positioned for women that look like you and I to win and succeed. And the only way our men are going to do that is if we pull them there. But they have to be open, they have to be receptive and say, you know, I can follow your lead to get me there. And then from there, baby, I could lead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely agree. Absolutely. Agree.
Yes.
All right. Well, let the people know where they can find this amazing product and you as well.
Absolutely. So make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at BareSkin USA. One of the good things I love about BareSkin USA is that we have these conversations. We create experiences that people not just enjoy the product, but we can share topics like this. We can talk. We can really dive deep into who we are as a people and just bring things out as a culture. And so all platforms, whether we're doing an event and having an experience, www.bareskinusa.com on our websites, whether you're buying a product, because it is definitely an experience within. So
awesome. Well, I do thank you.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. Like I love having real conversations. Mm-hmm. And so that's important to me. You know, the business is cool, but we got to grow as a people. Absolutely. We have to grow as women. And by telling your story, I know I learned so much about myself because I see my growth, my evolution, and I learned so much about others. So I just want to continue to encourage just other She-E-Os out there to believe in yourself, even when your significant other, your kids, your family, whomever may not believe in you. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep growing. It's just like Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. We only get one life. And in this room, and as we know it, so just make the best of it.
Absolutely. Like Jay-Z said, the smartest thing you could ever do is not give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. All right. This has been another episode of the She-E.O podcast, where we talk love, life, and leadership as female entrepreneurs. Make sure y'all stay tapped in. Follow us at the She-E.O pod on Instagram. We will have another episode coming up soon, so stay locked in. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.